Good afternoon. Today, today, May 6th of 2025, is the first meeting of the School Capital Outlay Surtax Oversight Committee. My name is Jeremy Powers. I am the school board attorney. At this time, as I call your name, I ask that each of you take a brief moment to introduce yourselves. Christopher Lutgert, Lynn Raciopi.
Very good. Yeah.
Did I pronounce it right?
Close enough.
Thank you.
Yeah. Quick introduction. I'm relatively new to Ocala. I've been here about three and a half years. My wife and I both retired from ExxonMobil from Houston. I got a master's degree in industrial engineering, and for a number of years I was a global projects manager, managing projects in Europe, Asia Pacific, and across the U.S., and some in Canada with our Imperial Oil affiliate. Got experience in demolition, construction, contracting, project management. I mean, just the typical execution of work. I'm just going to keep it short.
Thank you. And actually, that reminds me, your voice comes across very, very well on the microphone, but I want to make sure as each of you do this, our microphones are unfortunately designed so if they're outside of about 8 inches from your mouth, we're not going to hear you, and it won't pick up. So please make sure that your microphone is as ridiculously close to your mouth so that it can be heard, okay? Tom Pajevics, okay? Matt Fabian. Jim Walkup.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Walkup.
Good afternoon. Jim Walkup. I've been in construction as a general contractor for a little more than 30 years and work currently as a project manager for On Top of the World in their commercial division. And live here in Ocala for about the last year and a half.
Thank you for being here. Kyle Yancey.
Hi there, Kyle Yancey, graduate of the Marion County Public School System, born and raised here. Have 2 children currently in the school system, market president for Seacoast Bank, and happy to be here.
Thank you. Wally Wagoner.
Yes, I'm pleased to be here. Thank you, Laurie. My name is Wally Wagoner. Lived in Ocala since 1994. I worked primarily for Florida Power Corporation, Progress Energy for 20 years, and then I served as Deputy Superintendent of Operations for the Marion County Schools. I ran for superintendent and I finished third in a 3-horse race, so I finished my career in the insurance business.
Thank you. Brandon Owen.
That's me. I'm a third-generation builder here, born and raised in Marion County. 20 years experience in residential, 3 years into opening my own company here in town. Got 3 children in the Marion County school system now, and I am a product of the Marion County school system.
Thank you. Jamie Zublik.
Hello, Jamie Zublik. I've been here in Marion County for 25 years. I sit as the treasurer on the Marion County Builders Industry Association. I'm a partner with Collier, Jernigan, Eastman, and Zublik, and I've been with the firm for 25 years. I have 3 children. My first one is graduating this month.
Howard Gunn.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Howard Gunn. I'm a product of Marion County School, retiree as an agriculturalist. I am a proud owner of an ag consulting business here in the state. We also are a member of the Black Farmers Association, which was granted the medical marijuana license. So we do possess a medical marijuana license. I've been instrumental in that as far as the agricultural aspects of things.
Thank you all so much for each being so generous with your time to ensure that we can properly engage your professionalism and your efforts and supervision of our sales Surtax committee. As I said, my name is Jeremy Powers. I am the school board attorney. My phone is open if any of you, my door is open if any of you ever have any questions. You can come to me, you can call me. I'll be happy to answer anything I can or refer you to the people who can properly do so. Now, as a committee, you will work largely very independently. Your meetings will be arranged through our board clerk, Elena Martinez, and most of you have met her earlier. When there are times for arrangement of your meetings, if you have anything that comes up or if there's a conflict or anything like that, she can help you and she can be a valuable resource. Also, Stephen O'Leary. That's you, okay. Go ahead. I didn't call you earlier, did I?
No, I just got here, sorry.
I'm sorry, so, yeah, right, that's fine. I figured the first one, we've always got difficulties with parking and trying to find out exactly where we go and everything. I was making sure that each person got a chance to introduce themselves. They have to tell a story, do a dance, and a joke. So you're the person that's up now. No, but please introduce yourself to the rest of the committee.
Hi, my name is Jack O'Leary. Stephen's my government name. I live about a mile and a half across the street. Work for a healthcare solutions company out of Orlando, and I've been living in Marion County for 2.5 years.
Thank you very much for being here. In November of 2024, the 1/2 cent school capital outlay surtax referendum was approved by Marion County voters. It's my role to share with you the bylaws for that school capital outlay surtax referendum. Each of you should have a notebook in front of you which has a handy copy for you of those bylaws. The Oversight Committee shall be made up of no less than 12 members, each of who will be appointed as outlined below, and we go through that. No member of the Oversight Committee may be an employee of Marion County Public Schools, nor may any member in a position of personally profiting from the actions of the committee. Finally, it's preferred that each member have experience in financial management, construction, or another relevant field. 2 members will be appointed by each individual school board member, and the initial appointed members were as follows: Christopher Lukert, Lynn Resiopi, Tom Pajevics, Matt Fabian, Jim Walkup, Kyle Yancey, Wally Wagoner, Brandon Owen, Howard Gunn, Stephen O'Leary, and Jamie Zublik. And as you can see, that actually counts up to 10. I misquoted and said 12 is our number of members. So we have a total of 10 original members, and then we have 1 additional member who's an appointed committee member from the Marion County Building Industry Association. Should membership in the Oversight Committee drop below 11, a new member or members will be appointed by the appropriate person or organization to complete the current term of appointment. The school board, by majority vote, may remove any member who does not meet minimum qualifications, who violates the Oversight Committee's bylaws, is unwilling or unable to continue serving, or for other good cause that may raise questions about the integrity of the Oversight Committee. In addition, the chairman of the Oversight Committee shall report to the school board chair if an Oversight Committee member resigns his or her position, misses more than 1 meeting within a 12-month span, or otherwise needs to be replaced so that another member may be appointed to complete the current term of the appointment. One of the things you saw me do here was to count up the number of people we have for a quorum. We will need to have at least 5 people in order to maintain quorum, and we prefer to have 8 people in order to make sure that a quorum among 11 members is present. So when we do organize these, and we largely leave that to the committee to determine its schedule, we need to ensure that we have as great attendance as possible. The term of the Oversight Committee shall be from January 1st of 2025 until 6 months following the sunset of the surtax. This will allow for the development of a final report on the expenditure of surtax funds. Individual members shall serve 2-year appointments with the first appointment ending on December 31st, 2027, but they may be appointed more than once. The final appointment shall last an additional 6 months to allow for completion of the final report of the Oversight Committee. The responsibilities of you as a committee are, number 1, to elect a chair and vice chair. That's something we'll do today. To establish a meeting schedule. To review the expenditure of revenues from the surtax and to ask for more information pertaining to the expenditure if needed. To provide a written report to the superintendent and the school board regarding the expenditure of surtax revenues on an annual basis, and to report to the superintendent and the school board chair in a timely fashion any inconsistencies between the ballot language and the actual expenditure of surtax revenues. The Oversight Committee and its members shall adhere to the following guidelines. The chair will conduct all meetings. The vice chair will conduct a meeting in the absence of the chair. And again, you will be choosing your chair and vice chair today. The chair will create meeting agendas, which shall be provided to each member of the Oversight Committee at least 7 days prior to the next meeting. Meetings will be open to the public in accordance with Chapter 119 Florida statutes. And the secretary will maintain audio and written minutes for all meetings. Written minutes will be distributed to all members in a timely fashion. The Oversight Committee shall function as an oversight body to the Marion County Public Schools, sharing information with the Marion County School Board on whether the proceeds of the additional 1/2 cent sales tax are being utilized consistent with the below ballot language. And the Oversight Committee will meet quarterly and annually render a written report to the school board containing comments on the Marion County Public Schools' compliance with ballot language. The report will be kept on file in the school board office and made available to the public. Reports and comments from the Oversight Committee will be handled as follows. All reports and comments from the Oversight Committee to the school board shall be in writing. Such reports and comments shall be forwarded to the school board with a copy provided to the superintendent. Any member of the Oversight Committee who disagrees with the written report or comment of the Oversight is permitted to append the signed statement setting forth the basis for any such disagreement. Any oral presentation to the school board shall be made by the Oversight Committee Chair at a regularly scheduled school board work session meeting or at the school board meeting under the presentation recognition portion of the agenda. The responsibilities of the Marion County Public Schools with regards to the Oversight Committee shall be as follows. So this is the part where we explain what we need to do as Marion County Schools and Marion County School Board. Provide meeting space, recording equipment, clerical assistance, and other assistance as required by the Oversight Committee. If you need help or you need resources, please reach out to us. We'll make sure that you have what you need. Provide appropriate public notices of all Oversight Committee meetings, and that can also be coordinated through myself and through the board clerk, Ms. Martinez. Provide information regarding the expenditure of Surtax revenues and respond to inquiries from the Oversight Committee in a clear and timely fashion. Provide a staff member to serve as the Oversight Committee's liaison to Marion County Public Schools. Make time available during school board meetings for the presentation of the Oversight Committee's annual report. Make the Oversight Committee's annual reports readily available to the public and respond in an appropriate and timely fashion to report any inconsistencies between the ballot language and the actual expenditure of Surtax revenues. The ballot title, and this is the language that you'll hear many, many times as you're going through this, you'll read it and reference it often, was School District of Marion County, Florida, General Election, November 5th, 2024, School Capital Outlay Sales Surtax to improve safety and the learning environment. The ballot question was to retain high-quality teachers, reduce classroom overcrowding, and improve safety and security by expanding, constructing, and improving school facilities, with collected revenues shared according to Florida law with eligible public charter schools based on their proportion of total school district enrollment, with oversight by an independent volunteer committee. Shall the School District of Marion County levy a 1/2 cent sales surtax for 10 years to fund such activities for Marion County schools? Are there any questions about these bylaws before proceeding into election of officers?
Who reports to our committee from the school system?
Your meetings are going to be without us present. We're not, the board clerk will arrange those meetings. You are going to report to the superintendent and the board chair. So the board chair would be Ms. Lori Conrad, at least until November. In November, the board chair, a new board chair will be selected. And then the superintendent until July 11th is Dr. Gullett. The interim superintendent is Dr. Brewer, and she's present in the audience there in red. And so those would be your direct reports for any questions that you might have. If you have questions along the way and need to find out who it is you need to report to or who needs to report to you, any of the indications, because we will have folks from our CFO, our chief financial officer will also be reporting things to the committee. There will be multiple people who report to you. And that will be Teresa Boston Ellis as well. So there are multiple people who will provide you input. And then if you have any questions about anything that input indicates, there are multiple avenues, multiple people to reach out to.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a question regarding the process.
Yes, sir.
In this case, the sales tax savings, also with regard to owner direct purchase tax savings that can be saved there. Is there a procedure in place currently with the county that can be made available to review for that?
For owner direct purchase?
Yes.
Yeah, for owner direct purchase, our facilities department would have the procedures related to that, and we can have someone reach out and extend that to you. So, Ms. Martinez, if you can make a note for owner direct purchase, we'll have facilities reach out to the committee to make sure that's available.
If I could build on that question for a second.
Yes, sir.
To know where we're going, we have to know where we are. So is there a document or a series of documents of what's the process now in addition to direct purchase? I mean, contracting and the whole process that can be available to begin to look at it and how things are, you know, from RFP all the way through, how things are executed.
I can request that we have our facilities department prepare a presentation for you or a document for you that will further explain that. I don't want to tackle trying to give it an overall explanation that's going to necessarily be inadequate, because I deal with the legal portion. And although I have a working knowledge of those concepts and those things, I would probably explain it in a way that would leave out important nuances that they would like to make sure that you're aware of. And also, I don't think that I'm probably the best person to answer all the questions that would arise. So I can have our facilities department, in conjunction with the interim superintendent, prepare a document that would explain what you're asking. And I would just want to clarify what it is exactly that you're looking for. And then from there, they can present on that exact topic. So if you can give me anything you can regarding what it is you're actually looking for, and I'll make sure that you get that.
Okay, yeah, maybe I can provide a summary to you rather than kind of taking everybody's time up, but
Sure.
just an outline of the process. I'm not looking to get into the weeds. I'm trying to just understand how the process goes from, you know, initial interest all the way through execution and acceptance.
All right. If you want to send that to the clerk and myself, I can then forward that to appropriate parties to get you everything that you need.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, another question.
Yes, sir.
By serving on the committee, will that jeopardize us bidding on any of the projects?
Yes.
It will.
Yes. So you'd be expected as individual committee members to ensure that there's no conflict of interest as to any of the projects that actually exist. So if you suspect that there may be a conflict, that you have the bylaws have some indication of that if you read those, as to potential conflict, and that you may not have any direct benefit where your role here would overlap with a bid or something else that you're entering, then you'd need to check that conflict for yourself. If you have questions, then please reach out to make sure that you abstain from voting in that particular area. And if you abstain from voting, we typically ask that you also abstain from discussion or advocacy of that particular point or project. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. At this time, we'll open the floor for nominations for chair of the School Capital Outlay Surtax Oversight Committee. This is the tough part because you guys, you don't know each other yet, you don't know who even wants to do something like this, and you don't, frankly, know what you're getting into. So this is the point at which we've got to select someone to be the chair of the committee, and then we'll need a vice chair of that committee. And the idea is that whomever takes on those roles is not necessarily, it's like a jury four-person. Each person on a jury has full, equal vote. There is a person who has a sort of ceremonial duty, I guess you'd say, to actually maintain the report. But that doesn't mean that person is saddled with an increased share of responsibility except to forward the report along. That means that person is the person's going to be looked to just to maintain order, call the votes, and to assist in keeping records of that. So we would highly encourage that with the chair and vice chair of the committee, that you still continue to look to each member to be an equal and fully participatory member, and that not only roles but also division of any kind of further research or effort be divided amongst you. That may include preparation of reports, may include reaching out and seeking further information, anything that you have that should not fall completely on someone as a chair or vice chair to have to do. All of you as committee members are expected to be equal members. You all have the ability to reach out. You all have the responsibility to ensure that your roles are carried out with fidelity. So that being said, we've got to have somebody that takes the role and responsibility of vice chair and of chair. So are there any nominations for chair?
Al Yancey.
I nominate Matt Fabian.
Nominate Matt Fabian. Mr. Fabian, do you accept?
He's not here.
Matt Fabian. Okay, sorry. So Matt Fabian is not here to accept. And if so elected, that means that Matt Fabian becomes that in his absence. He doesn't have to accept. In order for that, he's accepted his role in the committee. Are there any other nominations? Okay, hearing none. Do I hear a second for Matt Fabian as our committee chair?
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, Mr. Fabian is going to be, that'll teach people that. You see, if you don't show up, this is what happens.
He'll enjoy it.
In the event that Mr. Fabian does not accept, what's our course of action?
At this point, he's been elected, so I'll deal with that. We're going to deal with vice chair.
He's going to love it.
So, as to vice chair of the committee,
I'll nominate Mr. Wagner.
Mr. Wagner, do you accept?
Reluctant.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, Mr. Wagner will be our vice chair. At this time, we'll open the floor for nominations for secretary of the School Capital Outlay Surtax Oversight Committee. I will, not to dissuade anyone, but I will indicate that the secretary is a person who's going to be he or she will be working closely with Elena Martinez in order to make sure that minutes are kept properly, and also in order to request and provide reports of the committee when provided. So that will be a sort of semi-liaison type role as well. So
I nominate Jamie Zublik.
Ms. Zublik, do you accept?
Yes, I'll accept.
Okay.
I won't mention I'm better with numbers than words.
You've always kept me in line, so.
Okay. Do I hear a second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, Ms. Zublik, you are our secretary. All right. Now, at this time, we'll turn the meeting over to the chair. Congratulations to our chair, vice chair, and secretary. And your only remaining duty for this meeting is to ask any further questions amongst yourselves. I'll attempt to clarify if I have any clarification that I can provide, as well as specifically to set yourself quarterly meetings. We don't have anything that is particular business that needs to come up within the next month to 2 months, but at about, I would say at this point, about the 2-month mark would be where you need to set a quarterly meeting, and then pick up from there. We'll begin preparing everything that we need to provide you as to expenditures for the sales surtax committee at that time. So you'll need to select a meeting date approximately 2 months from now, and then set quarterly meetings. How you choose to set those or on what schedule, it can be by day of the week, every third Thursday of the third month, however you choose to do it. We will then need to coordinate this auditorium for your meetings, and Ms. Martinez, Mr. Christian will also be a resource in helping to make sure those are coordinated. Because after this meeting, I'm not going to be here to answer questions, however poorly or well I might answer them, unless you reach out to me. So that being said, Mr. Chair, I'll turn it over to you to discuss that one item of business that you have today, which is to set quarterly meetings.
Chair's not here, so I'm guessing.
So therefore, you're vice chair. That means it's on you.
Are we talking about in July then?
Yes, for our first quarterly meeting, there is not a specific time frame. I would say that about a 2 month from now, July would be a good start. So
What month? You meet the second and fourth Tuesdays? School board?
They can't hear you.
well, let's see. Now, usually your meetings, you can hold your meetings at any time that you like. You can hold them in the evening. You can hold them during the day. Typically, around 4 o'clock is usually the prime time, because people aren't cutting into their evening of family time, and also we aren't having to have staff that are here specifically for that. Now, that being said, on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday, we have school board meetings here, which would quite possibly interfere with that. So, yes, the answer is that every other Tuesday is probably not the best. Tuesday is probably not best for availability of our forum. Thursdays, we've already got this set up because we have work sessions here for the school board. But really, it's up to your schedules.
Anybody have any thoughts about that?
I know that I personally am freest Mondays and Tuesdays. I have quite a commute on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
I have a board meeting with the Micanopy Area Cooperative School every first Monday, every first Monday, and then another with INA every second Tuesday. So I don't know how that's going to work with the rest of the group.
Yeah, I've got an advisory board meeting that meets every late afternoon on once a month on the second Tuesday. So Tuesdays are.
What if we did it Wednesday, July 9? Time convenient for everybody.
Okay, Wednesday, July 9. I don't see that we have any board activity in this meeting room. If that is an availability for everyone else.
Same time, 4 o'clock work?
I'm good. Yeah.
It'll be tricky, but I'll make it work.
Do we need a formal motion to do this?
Nope. So Wednesday, July 9th, and if we can then prepare, since these meetings would be quarterly, let's prepare one that is going to be set for approximately 3 months after July, August, September, October. Let's look into our early October schedule, late September, early October.
Do we want to try to keep them on the same day? I mean, that might be a problem for you, but you said you could work it out.
I'll do what I can to work it out.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll communicate ahead of time if that's gonna be an issue.
And it's entirely possible that by September, we may have additional projects that are in the pipeline that are waiting. So rather than extending the whole 3 months, since we are getting, there's quarterly meetings, but we're doing, really this is our first one, we're doing a second one in July. We could set that for September, or we can set it for October, then have another one, probably early December, so that we can, because coming out of Thanksgiving and coming into Christmas often is difficult for everyone. So I would recommend that early September to early October, anywhere within that 30-day time frame for your next one, and then plan one for early December. That'd be my recommendation. So if somebody wants to name a date in September or October, if you wanted to keep it on a Wednesday, that's fine. That would be anywhere from September 3rd to October 8th. Any of those Wednesdays. You got the 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, 1st, and 8th.
Any heartburn with any of that?
The 17th is our Marion County Builders Industry Association meeting, if we can not do the 17th.
Okay. What about September 10? That work?
If we can do it after the 15th of September, it would be wonderful due to our extended tax deadline that we would be focused on at that point. I mean, I can make it work, since it's typically only going to be, an hour for the meeting on average?
Yes, 1 hour.
Okay, that's fine then.
Okay, so that would be September 24th, October 1st, or October 8th. And looking into early December to close out the year, we'd be looking at most likely there's either Wednesday, if you want to stick to Wednesdays, and you don't have to. If you want to stick to Wednesday, you're looking at Wednesday, December 3rd, 10th, or you can push it to the 17th if you want to get that far into what everybody's doing in December. So 3rd or 10th will be the first 2 Wednesdays in December.
Third.
The 3rd? First Wednesday?
Yeah.
That work?
Okay, so at this time, is that everybody okay with that? I'm seeing head nods. Okay, so at this time, what I show as your next 3 meetings would be July 9th. Am I correct on that? September 24th and December 3rd, all of which fall on Wednesdays. Okay,
We're looking at the same time, 4 o'clock?
and that'll be 4 p.m. I'll make sure that this room is scheduled. I will make sure it's July 9th. I'll get with you, Mr. Wagoner, as the vice chair, and make sure that I have accurately heard the requests for presentation to the committee of some further information, and then we will move forward from there. I'll send out notices. I'll have Ms. Martinez send out notices for the meeting, and also for the future meetings calendar invites to hold. For each of you, did each of you, I shouldn't ask, we will send out calendar invites. If you don't use Outlook, sometimes it's a little difficult. We'll send an email and a calendar invite. If for some reason that you can't accept the calendar invite, don't worry about it. We just want to make sure that you have received notice of it. So you can call and confirm with Ms. Martinez, and she can make sure that you're aware of it and make sure that you're down for attendance. Okay? All right, does anyone else have any further business?
If we're gonna have a presentation, can we get it ahead of time and be able to get it a couple days ahead of the meeting versus just trying to analyze it and listen to the presenter at the same time?
Yeah, my intention would be to, number one, make sure that I understand fully what it is that is being requested. And I can play back what we've talked about here, make sure that I've got a good, at least, overview. then to have to reach out to the departments that are responsible for that, to get you all a document or perhaps even a PowerPoint sort of presentation for you to review on your own, and then to actually have someone here to answer questions about it and further present. So typically what we do is anywhere between 7 to 21 days before a meeting, we make sure that all of the board members in a regular school board meeting have received all the documentation that they're going to be provided with, so they have adequate time to review. And that also allows us to, if there's additional information that may not have been included, you can reach out and ask further questions, so that can also be included.
Okay, thank you.
All right? Okay, Mr. Vice Chair, I will turn it over to you to proceed with a motion to adjourn or to conduct any other business as you may see fit.
Do we have any more business to come before this group?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Like sign opposed? All right.
All right, thank you all for your attendance.